Hi, I'm Marianne Page, author of Process to Profit and the McFreedom Report, and welcome back for this third video in our McFreedom series. In the first two videos, we looked at success, and I asked you to get really clear about what success looks like to you. And then I shared with you the four cornerstones of McDonald's success, which are the foundation of the Bright 7 roadmap to your time and financial freedom. So in this video, I want to help you to understand how the McFreedom strategy will work for you, how it will give you the results and the success that you're looking for. First of all, though, I want to take a few minutes to share with you a little of my story and how I know from first-hand experience that this stuff works. The truth is, I didn't actually learn the importance of systems at McDonald's. I learned them at home. I'm one of 6, all girls. And at one stage, my poor mother had 5 daughters under the age of 7 to manage. Can you even imagine that? Oh, my life. It fills me with horror and dread. 5 little girls to get washed and dressed, to get to school, to put to bed, to stop fighting. And it needed to be like a military operation. And the truth is, it was. You know, my mum had really high standards and she was also really bright. She understood that having systems and having routines would make her life easier. So pants, vests and socks, bright red pants from M&S as I recall, were always laid out at the bottom of our beds, just like Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, ready for the morning. She got that if she wasn't going to be completely run ragged by us and by her role as the admin for my dad's growing coal business, she needed help. She needed someone else in her team. Someone to take some of the basic household stuff off her hands. So she found someone and she treated her not like the hired help, but as one of the team, one of the family, an important member of the family. And as a result, I grew up loving the wonderful little lady I called Auntie Tina. Mum realised that the more she could teach us to do for ourselves, the better it would be for us and for her. So she taught the 3 older ones how to look after the 3 younger ones, how to get them dressed in the morning, how to sort them out with breakfast, tie their shoelaces. And she gave each of us responsibility for jobs around the house. And I can still see my sister standing on the biscuit tin to wash the dishes. You know, my mum was bright. She had her high standards, she had her systems to deliver those standards, and she had her well-drilled team who could deliver them for her. She replaced herself in all of the areas where she personally wasn't needed to concentrate on being where she was needed, being the loving mother of 6 increasingly growing and increasingly hormonal and challenging girls. It was genius, and it was a great example to me and my sisters, really, of the route to an easier life and to success. It's no wonder I took to McDonald's so well. As far as I was concerned, they were just doing what my mum had always done. Develop the systems, develop the team to run them, replace yourself where you're no longer needed, and concentrate your focus on where you are needed. And as I mentioned in the McFreedom report, I did replace myself in McDonald's 3 times. Now, I moved from their training team to set up their customer services department from scratch, develop the systems, develop the people, set the standards, and then got out of their way to let them get on with it. I knew that I had replaced myself. I knew that they were ready to take over that function lock, stock and barrel. I took over a dysfunctional facilities management team. I went back to basics with them. I replaced their rules with standards. I replaced their policing with service. I gave them systems to follow. I gave them targets to achieve and ownership of their own roles. And I developed them into a really high-performing team capable of taking on bigger and broader responsibilities. They didn't need me anymore, but thankfully the business did, and I then took on the much broader remit of support services, supporting both the restaurants and the offices. Again, within a few short years, the team below me were flying. They had their systems, they were delivering high standards. We were effective and efficient, saving the business big money. And guess what? I'd replaced myself once again. Only this time, there was no wriggle room for me or the business. There really was nowhere for me to go. Now, did it feel like a huge wrench when I left McDonald's? Of course it did. It felt like leaving home. It was really, really hard. But just like leaving home, the first time, just like properly leaving home, it opened up a whole new world of opportunity. You know, leaving the comfort of doing what you know you can do with your eyes shut will always seem scary. But it's the only way to grow, and it's the only way to achieve success and fulfillment. Because I replaced myself in McDonald's, because I moved on, I now get the opportunity to meet and talk to so many business owners like you. And I get to help you to understand the sort of systems and teamwork that my mum drilled into me way back when I was still wearing big red pants. I love what I do, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And it's all down to replacing myself. You have that same opportunity now. You can replace yourself in your business. Yes, of course you're special, and of course no one will do things in exactly the same way that you would. But if you train and develop your team, they can do things to the same high standard that you can. And you do need a team. No one can grow business on their own. No one. Even those people that you may think to be one-man bands, they have the support of a team. They have a team around them, keeping them going, keeping them successful. We need other people. You know, with a team we have greater creativity, greater productivity, we have greater freedom. None of us is ever as good as all of us. And when you have a team, you have to give them systems. Simple, logical, and repeatable systems. Those three words are so key when you're setting up any sort of system in your business. It has to be simple, it has to be logical, and it has to be repeatable. Your team have to have targets to aim for too. You know, you have to measure their performance. You have to recognise and reward them for taking ownership and delivering results for you. And for themselves, crucially. But all of that's dead easy and straightforward when you have the right systems in place. It really is. You know, it's easy to hand over even great responsibility when you've built a great culture, when you have a strong structure of systems, and when you've invested time in developing the people below you to firstly do the same job to the same high standard as you, and secondly to believe in themselves and in their specialness. Let me give you a great example of how this works. Now, even if you've been living under a stone and you hate football, you must have heard of Liverpool Football Club. And I imagine you may also have heard of the man who was considered to be their greatest ever manager, Bill Shankly. But Bill Shankly is not their most successful manager. Bill Shankly built a great culture. He put systems in place. He built a great team of backroom staff, and he got them to work to his standards, and in doing so he brought the club great success. All of that is true. But when he was ready, he replaced himself. And he replaced himself with his assistant, somebody he'd brought through that culture, who he'd given the systems, who he'd given all of his training to, given all of his knowledge to. And it was Bob Paisley, who became the club's most successful manager. Paisley then replaced himself with his assistant, Joe Fagan with his key player, Kenny Dalglish. And these four men kept the culture alive. They continued the systematic delivery of high standards and delivered years of success for Liverpool. One after the other, they replaced themselves. It's the McDonald's model of success in action. Now, as a United fan, it pains me horribly to say it, but the consistency of their culture, their systems and their standards is a great lesson to us all of what can be achieved. You are the Bill Shankly of your business. You are the person who sets the standards, who creates the culture through your values, your beliefs, and your clear vision that you share with your team. You now know what success looks like to you. You know what you have to do to achieve that success and achieve the time and financial freedom that you're looking for. What you may not know is the how piece of the puzzle. And if that's the case for you, that may well be where I can help you. I'm shortly going to be releasing a pilot program for those who want to go further and deeper into the McDonald's model for high-performing teams who really are ready to replace themselves in their business. The McFreedom strategy will take a small group of business owners through the 7 stages of the Bright 7 roadmap and build strong foundations for their planning, their process, for their people and their performance. Those 4 cornerstones. By the end of the program, each of these business owners will have a structured planning system in place with plans for the next 3 years, the next year and the next quarter. Each will have their key operating processes mapped out and the framework for their people development and their performance management systems in place. And each business owner on the pilot will know how, when and why they're going to replace themselves in their business. If this sounds like just the thing you're looking for, just the thing you might be interested in, then please do register your interest via the sign-in box below. I'm also asking you to include your mobile number because as the places are limited, it's going to be really important for me to speak to you, to see if we're right for each other, to check your state of readiness mentally and business-wise to replace yourself in your business. I'm really excited about what I can deliver for you through the McFreedom strategy, and I can't wait to get started with the pilot group. So if you want to be on it, take the time to register below now, and I'll be in touch very soon. Big, fat, hairy hugs till then. Thank you.